US Vice President JD Vance says he will accompany his wife Usha on a trip to Greenland this Friday. President Trump has repeatedly threatened to take over the Danish territory. Vance announced he and his wife are planning to visit the US Space Base Pituffik on the northwest coast of the island. According to a decades-old agreement between the US and Denmark, the US Vice President can visit the military base there without formal invitation. The new plan comes after Vance's wife said she had an official invitation for a visit, which Denmark has denied. In a video message, JD Vance offered this explanation for the trip.
I'm going to visit some of our guardians in the Space Force on the northwest coast of Greenland and also just check out what's going on with the security there of Greenland. As you know, it's really important. A lot of other countries have threatened Greenland, have threatened to use its territories and its waterways to threaten the United States, to threaten Canada, and of course to threaten the people of Greenland. So we're going to check out how things are going there.
Denmark has welcomed Washington's decision to alter the planned visit to Greenland. On Wednesday, Danish Foreign Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen told the Danish Broadcasting Corporation, "I think it's very positive that the Americans cancelled their visit to Greenlandic society. Instead, they will visit their own base, Pituffik, and we have absolutely nothing against that." And for more on this, let's bring in Dwayne Ryan Menezes. He's the founder and managing director of the Polar Research and Policy Initiative, a think tank based in London. Now, what do you make of that Danish response there? Is the diplomatic standoff between the two countries now off the table?
Well, it makes complete sense. It is a welcome move. I should first say that the US has changed its plan by limiting its visit to Pituffik. The timing of the visit was really ill-timed, insensitive, and an act of intimidation in a way, because Greenland has just had a national election on the 11th of March. You have a formerly opposition party that's won the most votes. They have around 45 days in which to partner with other parties and form a coalition government. Greenland does not have a coalition government at the moment. So the fact that you have a high-level US delegation visiting, when you don't have a government in place, when negotiations to form a new government are in progress, and when you have local elections coming up in a few days on the 1st of April, the timing was just very badly judged and conveyed entirely the wrong message.
Now, JD Vance justified his visit with wanting to reinvigorate, quote, the security of the people of Greenland. How credible is that?
Oh, well, to be fair to the American position, the understanding of US security interests in the region is completely accurate. The US enjoys almost extensive privileges across the country for defense purposes. These are guaranteed by agreements of 1941 and 1951, which, of course, today would be seen as likely as agreements signed between a foreign power, the US, and a colonial power, Denmark. But remember, times have changed. There is now a government of Greenland in the equation, and Greenlanders increasingly want independence. So it is important to bear that in mind, that with a changing situation in Greenland, it is understandable that the US might wish to do everything it can to de-risk its security interests in the region. Annexation is not the answer. That is completely going down a far worse route. It's taking the least pragmatic, the least reasonable option to pursue what actually are very reasonable aims. All you have to do is speak to the people of Greenland, cultivate trust, build goodwill, carry on the good work you've already been doing for the last 10 years, and you will be able to achieve your long-term interests. You don't need to talk about turning your back on an ally.
Now, what's the security interest there, Dwayne? Why is Greenland of such important, strategically so important?
Well, its strategic location in relation to the shipping routes opening up in the north, its strategic location as a roof of the world in order for monitoring and surveillance of what happens across the northern region, the abundant resource wealth in Greenland, from critical minerals like rare earths to zinc, lead, and various other various other important minerals, and of course the long-standing defense and security interests that the US has in Greenland. The importance Greenland is enjoying today is not new. Greenland played a very important role during the Second World War, during the Cold War, and since. That is why the US reaction is surprising. We have seen over 80 years of close and effective cooperation between the Greenland and the US, with Greenland proving to be repeatedly one of the US's most trustworthy and steadfast allies. Why talk of annexation when you already have a country willing to help and do everything it can to shoulder and to secure US interests in the region?
I'd like to interrupt you there. You mentioned annexation, and Trump has made clear on several occasions that he wants Greenland sooner or later. What could such an annexation look like?
It could be both political and military. Militarily, it can mean just US troops getting in. Politically, it could just mean sort of some act to usurp, to absorb Greenland into the United States, as Trump is also trying to do with Canada. These are completely unnecessary. These strategies, using the language of decolonization to further blatantly colonial expansionist ambitions, is at best an unconvincing gimmick. These are tactics that our adversaries do, trying to convince the domestic US electorate, mislead them by saying that many Greenlanders want to join the US. This is not true. These are the tactics of spreading misinformation we expect from Russia. It is not what we expect from the United States. We continue to believe the US is and poised to be the leader of the free world. But for that to continue, we need for the president to start acting like he is the leader of the free world and not somebody who's mimicking at every stage his adversaries.
Dwayne Ryan Menezes there from the Polar Research and Policy Initiative. Thank you very much for sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you.